don't know if we've seen that the efficiency rate, but I've seen guys average 32 and stuff like that. But I've never seen a guy come in the league averaging 25, 11, and 4. Like I've just never.
What?
So I just think that just makes
what?
25, 11, and 4, which is just different.
So what is Joker average then?
He's not averaging 4 blocks. He's not averaging 4 blocks. And you're comparing a guy at the look, Joker's at the peak of his career right now. Like he's like, I'm not saying Joker won't ever get no better because he can obviously get a little better, which would be crazy.
But Joker's MVP. Joker's MVP.
But that's what I'm saying. He's an MVP guy, and we're talking about a guy in year 2. Like he's crazy, bro. Like he's crazy. Like let him get up to averages.
Of course he's good.
And that's what I'm saying. He's 7'5". He shouldn't be doing this.
Okay. He's 7'5", right? Okay, we understand that, right? But again, when you're talking about face of the NBA, that means you're putting butts in seats no matter where you go.
You don't think nobody want to go see that? You don't think nobody want to go see that? You don't think nobody wants to go see 7'5" guy?
People want to go see Anthony Edwards put the biggest stars in the league in the rim. Put him in the rim every day.
But listen, he's not getting the poster every game. But Wemby is 7'5" every game.
Wemby is 7'5" every game. He's doing it on a consistent basis.
All right, hold on. So we had to cut the stream and rerun it. It's got some rain over here, and it interrupted the network connection. So just trying to catch everybody up on this part. They are conversating. One is for Wemby, one is for Anthony Edwards, and one is for SGA, and they're trying to figure out who really could be the face of the league. Now, there's been a lot of debates and each one of the little things, so I'm going to say this. Is your guy in his prime right now, and how much does that affect his ability to be the face of the league for the next 10, 15?
I think my guy, he's still got, I don't think he's starting to get, I mean, he's 26. He's still young. So I would have considered this his prime. He's still young, got like things to learn within the league. And I just feel like he has a lot of room to grow and just, I feel like he has a lot of potential because he's young. As I say, he's 26. Doing this, that's insane.
Yeah. I don't think my guy's in his prime neither. Like he's in year 2. Like you said, he did just have an injury. But if he's not in his prime now, his numbers are just crazy now. I just can't even imagine what a prime looks like for this guy. Like when he gets to the point where he gets the ability to average 30, like he can average 5 assists, like he's in a different convo. Like when he's 26, I think he'll be in a different convo than Shai is now. And that's not a knock at Shai, it's just his ability is just different.
Shai is older than both of them. Ant is 23. I think Shai, I don't think Ant is in his prime right now. Do I think he's rising to that? Yes. But he also, you have to look at what they just got rid of and the players around him right now. You know, he's getting to that level of his prime. I think in the next 2 to 3 years, he will start to really get into his prime. You'll see him starting to average 30 points a game and things of that nature. Like, yes, what Shai is doing right now is phenomenal. But I don't think that is face of the NBA really worthy. 7'5". It's just not. It's not showing out to me. If I'm a fan, if I'm somebody turning on the TV, being like, man, I don't know nothing about basketball. Let me turn on the basketball. Shai's going in there, going to get layups, going to the free throw line, shooting the threes. But then when I'm seeing, you know, Anthony Edwards go put people in a poster, put people in the rim, the biggest players on the team, the biggest names on the team. That's stuff people want to see. That's stuff people like.
Well, you see how Zion shoots, right?
He shoots 10 threes a game. He doesn't just put people in the poster. Anthony Edwards shoots a lot of threes.
He shoots the ball at a decent percentage as well. I think he can be better at shooting the ball.
There's a lot of players he's in the top 5 for 3-point percentage over attempts.
Yeah, he shoots like a lot of threes, so he doesn't just put people on the poster. Like what Greg said, if we're going off the dunking aspect, I mean, we're not talking about Zion. And every time he comes on the court, Zion's different.
You gotta also think about SGA. Like, bro, SGA, his ball handling is just poetic. Like, if you realize if you're an actual hooper and you watch SGA and the way you're talking about Anthony Edwards dunking, yeah, that's cool and all, but SGA is more shiftier. He's a ball. He got that ball on the string. He knows how to, and that to me that's more entertaining. I understand dunking and this and that, but like I don't know. I just find that more interesting.
Okay,
To
so
me,
I'm
when we
gonna
look
play
at
devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's advocate to each one of you. Obviously, Kingo, yours is injuries, right?
Right.
Sauce, yours is inconsistent play in big moments. But Mike, yours is the same reason why James Harden can never be the face of the league. He goes way too much searching to get on that free throw line. Can you make an argument to why, even though he does that, he foul baits so much, he can still be the face of the league? Because nobody likes that.
But I mean, at this point, it's part of the game. Everyone does it in the league. I mean, it's grown. It's grown. It sucks. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I wish it hadn't, but it's grown to be part of the league at this point. So why not utilize it if everyone is you
of James Harden to be like, it's been magnified because of the James Harden, literally.
He
For
got
sure.
crucified. James Harden got crucified.
But I mean, you're talking about that, Grayson, and I mean, like, what was your question again?
Throughout his biggest obstacle, which is clearly the foul baiting for SGA, Wemby's obstacle is health concerns and inconsistency for Anthony Edwards. So the foul baiting, how can he still be the face of the league if everybody thinks that shit's annoying?
I mean, he's still putting up points, but I mean, everyone think it's I mean, yeah, I understand your point in that.
He's putting up points, but how many free throws is he shooting a night?
I mean, 10, 8, and he's actually going like pretty good from the free throw line if you see his percentage. So I mean, why not?
He's there a lot. He has a lot of practice.
I mean, why not? I mean, they're free. I'll shoot a free throw.
Is he gonna peak higher than James Harden?
He has potential, yes.
To peak higher than James Harden?
He has potential, I would say.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe.
And that's just.
I don't believe that. Rocket, you look. Okay, so let's compare. You're gonna compare SGA right now and to Rocket's James Harden.
Like, and no, I mean, I said he has potential.
Yeah.
He has potential. Yes, he has potential. I'm not gonna say right now. Yes, he is better. No, he has potential.
No, for sure. So, what would he have to average, like 30 for 2 more seasons to do that?
We could play devil's advocate about any of that, though. We could say that Ant has the potential to be the next Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like we could say that about a lot of players. They have a lot of these players have the potential to do a lot of things. We're talking about the face of the NBA. Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? When you think of the NBA, who are you going to think of? Right now, you think of LeBron James because of the things he does and has done and accomplished, right? Who are you going to think, when kids are growing up, when kids are like, I want to play basketball, I want to be like who? Do I want to be like Anthony Edwards? Do I want to be like SGA? Do I want to be like Wemby? Everybody can't be 7'5".
But
everybody can't be.
But the thing about that is, let me say something. But LeBron was a freak of nature. That's not nothing no kid can be like. No kid can be 6'9", 250, 1% fat. LeBron's not a freak of nature, just like Wemby. So those freak of natures is what attracts the face of the league. Like outside of Michael Jordan, because he was a specimen of, he was just ahead of his time. He could dribble better than everybody, fade better than, he could do everything better than everybody. So he was ahead of his time. But then you get to the LeBrons and then the Kareems. Those guys are specimens. Wilt Chamberlain, those were specimens of like, dang, we might not ever get this guy again because his talent is generational. I think generational talents are face of the leagues. Anthony Edwards and Shea Gilly, they're phenomenal talents. I think they're generational players, but I don't think they're generational talents. Generational player and generational talent are two different things. Wemby, that's God gift. Like you can't go in the gym and be that. LeBron, you can't go in a gym and be that. Like that's a gift from God. Like,
but you have to look at Anthony Edwards' athleticism too. That's God given.
But we've seen those birds before. Like Shannon Brown had a crazy bird. Like we've seen birds like that.
Shannon Brown.
Right, hey, my last thing would also be that the team would have to play a factor as well. If your team is horrible and doing bad, You're not gonna get that attention. Okay, you might have Anthony Edwards, but you're
Like
not gonna
LaMelo.
get that attention that NBA wants.
So
I mean, go ahead, bro.
last take, and then we'll move on. Go ahead, Kingo.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, early on, the Cavs, we wasn't that good. We wasn't that good. I think we made it year two of Bron's year, but we barely made it. And I think the Spurs would have probably barely made it this year if Wemby didn't get hurt. So I don't think team always play a part because I think you could just tell when a guy needs help. Honestly, in the NBA, it's not like the NFL. I think you can honestly tell when a guy like, dang, he needs some help. So.
Yeah, but we talking about bringing butts to seats. You telling me a lot of fans are gonna go watch a sorry team, or is a lot of fans going to watch a number 1 seed? You tell me.
I mean, if a guy can bring the people there, like I think
that-
Wemby's
that's
an
where-
attraction.
That's where Trey.
Yeah,
Young
but you
kinda
tell-
fell off.
But you're telling me you dunking. You gonna go watch someone dunk 3 times, lose, rather than watch a number 1 seed.
I mean,
Like, okay, you dunking all that, but at the end of the day, it's 2 points.
Speaking of the number 1 seed, last night we had the was it last night or 2 nights ago? We had the rematch of the OKC versus the Nuggets, and this time Jokic came out on top. The
Yeah.
1 and 2 for the MVP odds right now. Obviously, I think you guys are kind of split on who's the MVP currently, but is there a better formula that can be created for the MVP to where it's more like intact? Like baseball, it's like not really that much of an argument for the past couple of years.
Nah, there's not an argument with. My fault. Go ahead, Grayson.
No, you're fine. The NFL has a bit of a problem in the MVP thing, and I think so does the NBA in terms of fatigue. But fatigue. So, do you know? Can you formulate a type of formula that could work for the MVP that could be more successful moving forward? Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna include that the MVP I think right now would be Joker, and I don't think that's even the argument.
yeah.
I see what you're saying. We had this conversation the other day, and I think it boils. The MVP in the NBA and the NFL are two totally. They're not obviously it's the same thing as far as the name, whatever. But how you look at it has to be. Well, no, not necessarily, because at the end of the day, it's about if you take that player off that team, what does that team do? It has to be the
right.
most valuable player to that team.
Yeah.
Right? If you take Shea off OKC, are they still the number 1?
No, but I do think
No.
they're a play-in team, and I think if you take
Joker
Jokic
off the Nuggets,
they're a
they
lottery
still
team.
fourth or
They're a
third in the
lot.
way?
I think they're a lottery team.
I say the Denver Nuggets would be better off without Jokic than OKC would be without SGA.
No.
I don't know. I can't.
No, a guy lead.
Accept that.
You gotta think Jokic is leading the league and not leading, but he's top 5 in points, rebounds, and assists and steals. So those 3 major stats, you can't say taking that guy off that team that'd be man. That's,
I would say it would be hard because you're taking SGA, which is a point guard. You're telling me that's the key guy, but then again, Joker is the key guy as well.
Jokic is their point guard.
Jokic is,
Oh yeah.
but Shea doesn't average the most assists on that team, and he doesn't average the most rebounds on that team. He averages the most points for sure.
the most points.
For sure. But I do think J-Dub is good enough for them to be a play-in team. Because I think J-Dub was like a top 5 pick, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's still like a solid player. Like, no, he's not Shea's level at all. No. But I do think they could be a play-in team with him and Chet, Hardenstein, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso.
But I mean,
deep.
with the Nuggets, you got Murray, you got
No All-Star.
Gordon.
He's too
No
inconsistent.
All-Stars.
Aaron Gordon.
No
You
All-Star.
got Porter. When Porter's hitting.
All right, hold
But
on,
if you
hold
take-
on, hold on,
if you
hold on.
take-
When he's hitting, when?
Oh, Cam,
Yeah,
you're
when he's
caught up
hitting, for
already?
sure.
Hold on. What's going on, everybody? This is Cam joining us. Cam Pickups, my guy. Let me.
What's good, everybody?
Let me hit your.
Hey, Rick, give me 1 second.
Hold on. We got 21 years of football experience, pro D1 level, 3rd team all AAC, apologies. Business owner of the trucking company Cam Pickups and a devoted father. Shout out to my man's Cam. Thank you for joining us. Do you understand
Thank
the
you for
current
having
debate
me.
right now that you want to jump into, or are you just jumping in wherever they're talking?
I was jumping in wherever y'all was talking at.
All right, go
What's
for it.
up, dude? Y'all can catch me up though. What we really arguing about?
So we are going from a conversation in which nobody really could get a counterpoint on their debate, so nobody scores anything on that debate. We transition to, well, we got the number one and number two playing for the second time in the last couple of days within Jokic and SGA. And they're obviously number one and number two in both NBA standings and in the MVP. Is there a way to better articulate and create a system, formula, statistic measure for MVP that gives much easier access to where fatigue is not the argument for why someone doesn't get MVP, right? So can
Okay.
you create a formula or some type of measurement to argue that? Nobody so far has created a formula or any type of measurement to argue that, but everyone is arguing taking away SGA from OKC, what does it do for them? Taking away Jokic from Denver, what does it do for them? And that's why we're here. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Shit. Yeah. I mean, another measurement for fatigue, like, is what you mean, like them getting tired, or somebody keep winning over and over, like voters fatigue.
So you know how right now it's SGA has 40 averages 50 points, but Jokic averages a triple double. Which one's more important? Which one's the MVP? Can you create a formula that says this plus this minus this is who's going to win MVP regardless, right?
Yeah.
So earlier, Corey said in the comments, he said it should be fans and player voting, and that's it. Whoever gets the most votes gets the MVP, right? So there's obviously problems with that, and that's something that the debate comes about, because someone could come in the debate and say it can be rigged, right? So
Right.
that everyone gets their own spiel, everyone gets their own take, and then you guys are going to debate on which one is right, which one works the best. So go for it.
Okay. I mean, the way to measure it the best, I guess. I wouldn't say like the players and whatnot. I definitely had the coaches, players. I wouldn't add the fans just because, like I said, like SGA is definitely the MVP this year. Which you could still argue Jokic, but if you were to leave it up to the fans, somehow, some way, a fan favorite will win, like Curry or Bron or somebody like that. So you don't want to leave it up to the fans like that. As far as I think they measure it pretty good. The only thing you can't really measure, I feel like, is take away one argument that I just jumped into, because you can't really do that because you can't take them away in a real life situation and measure it. So I mean, with Jokic, I feel like you would get more out of him, but that's all offense. I mean, SGA got defense as well too. You know what I'm saying? He got some defensive stats too. I mean, I feel like you just gotta dig deeper into it. I mean, how efficient they are, per minute. Just break it down to that stat. I feel like you got to go that deep when it's this close.
I think after Westbrook won his MVP, it was hard for them to actually stay consistent, because now you can't measure it off of wins, like the team success, because if somebody won an MVP at a 6 seed, now you can't really measure it off of that. So if you're going off stats, if you're going off team success, and if you're going off head-to-head matchups, I think that can be the best way to measure it, because right now, are they split in their head-to-head matchups? I know one won, then the other one won. I don't know if they play again, but of what I've seen, they're 1-1. Shea gave him 50. He gave him a 30-point triple-double.
And
So, go ahead.
My bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but then on top of that, like I'm trying to use your measure thing and say it like that. But guess what? They play different positions, so it'd be like, how do you measure that as well? Like they play way different positions. And then I think when we look at it at Jokic, man, he plays center, but he does everything.
But he's
a point
playing
guard
Shea's
would.
position better than Shea. He's playing the point guard position better than
Exactly,
Shea.
and that's where I'm kind of like, damn. I mean, if somebody wanted to argue that, they could, because what does Shea consider? Is he listed as a point guard or a
I
shooting
mean,
guard?
yeah, he's the point guard on that team, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I thought it was maybe Case and Wallace, but no, yeah. I guess if you SGA, well, you argue that a center is playing his position better than him. The only really category he got him in is points. You know what I'm saying? And everything else is Jokic. But at the same time, bro, like somebody was saying, MPJ and Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray, I feel like those guys are more accomplished than Chet Holmgren and who else we got on Jalen Williams.
Yeah, but that's
Jalen
because of
Williams.
Jokic.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's
I
because
mean,
of
you can say
Jokic.
that.
That's because
You
of
can say
Jokic.
that, but Michael Porter Jr. before his little injuries coming out, he was the #1 player in the country. You know what I'm saying?
He was Gatorade
No,
Player of the Year, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, like you said, it could be because Jokic. I mean, he never really played without him, so you don't know. And neither did. But these young dudes are non-accomplished dudes, and he's winning the West, the harder division. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not a big fan of either one,
man,
but I respect greatness, bro. He's winning the hardest division with 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. Some of them niggas on the team can't even drink. I mean, my bad, y'all. Some of them people on the team can't even drink. So, like, bro, he's winning with babies in the hardest conference. He's the
yeah,
#1 seed, folks. They only lost what 12 games now this year.
11, I
Mhm.
think 11,
Yeah, man. Then
12.
he also averaged
12.
what
Okay.
1.8 or 2 steals. What? Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
I mean Jokic is top 5 in steals too, though.
It's exactly. So I mean, and but look, and then Jokic also do got him in the other categories. So I feel like this is a real close race, bro. I mean, I guess you just got to go.
I just think that, like, obviously, you know, we've seen Joker win MVP before, but like at the center position, doing this as the big man on your team, like
It's crazy.
I'm not taking anything away from SJ, but as a guard, this is stuff we expect guards to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and tell me you expect your your center to be leading the league, or in even in the top 10 in assists in the NBA. You know, so when we watch
What he averaging right now in assists, bro?
Joker.
Yeah, what's his average
Yeah,
right
averages a
now?
triple double.
10.8.
Like, no, I'm
Yeah,
saying like on the
10.8.
season, not the last 20. I'm
On
talking
the
about the
season,
season.
he's averaging 10 and a half assists.
He averages a triple
Wait,
double
oh
in the
wait,
season.
wait. He's averaging a triple double on the season, and his assist is
Yes.
10.5.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, man, close this shit up, man. I mean,
And,
close
and
this
he's
up.
and he's averaging 2 steals.
Oh yeah, never mind. Close it up, brother.
I'm gonna tell you Jokic's numbers right now.
Oh my
Joker's
goodness,
averaging
is he number
20,
one or number 2 in assists?
29 points, 11 assists, 13 rebounds, 1 block, 2 steals. You know, he turns the ball over a lot. But when that's nothing.
He ball dominant, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh
When
my
you have the ball in
god,
your game, 50% of the game, you're gonna turn the ball over. It's bound to happen.
and he gets
But
trapped a lot. Jesus Christ, bro.
So-
Never
but
mind.
Cam,
Go back to
like
your
I was
point right
saying,
there.
So in regards to that, if we're speaking on a snub, it would again be Jokic, the one being snubbed, like the one against Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Do y'all think
It
that Lamar
happens,
Jackson
though.
was snubbed?
Yes, he was
Lamar was
snubbed.
snubbed for sure.
Yes.
For sure. It
Yes.
happens, bro.
Yes.
It's called voters fatigue, and I know y'all about to be sick of me bringing this up. But
I
we
think
seen
Saquon was
it.
snubbed
I'm sorry, we
today.
seen it with Derrick Rose MVP. Derrick Rose, great season. He was not the best player that season, stat
He
wise.
deserved that. Derrick Rose deserved that.
Nah,
bro.
Derrick Rose is the dog.
He
He's
deserved
a
that.
dog, guys.
Let's be
Y'all want
real.
to check the numbers?
I think
Chicago,
look,
but
I'm not gonna name
that
a person.
season don't matter about numbers. It matter about Chicago was nothing. And
Nothing. He went to toe to toe with. Yeah,
and he
you're
brought
right.
them from a lottery team to the first seed in the Miami Heat era East.
Yeah.
He deserved that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He like you
I'm
said, he
telling
was
you, look.
barely able to drink.
He barely, fact. No, he was.
Like,
Fact.
he was
But see,
different.
this is where I'm so confused at, because then when we use their argument, then I'm like, this is so confusing, because if we use their argument, then I got to go with SGA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different arguments.
But
It's
the
so
Thunder were
hard,
number
bro.
1 seed last year. They were number 1 seed last year.
Yeah, but now ain't he putting up more points per game? I think last year he averaged 29. This year he averaged 31.
I think it went from 30 to 32. Like,
30 to 32. Yeah, I knew it was 29 points somewhere 30. So look, he went to 30 to 32. And then look, only other person that ever averaged that was who? Ballhead? Michael Jordan.
oh, he's talking about back-to-back seasons.
Bald head.
Yeah.
Bald head.
Yeah, I call him Ballhead. That's the only one who's ever to do that, especially as a guard. Man, it's just tough. I don't know, y'all. It's tough to measure that, because, like, we just look, bro just shut me down quick when I tried to say something about Derrick Rose, and he was right. The Bulls were nothing, bro. Carlos Boozer, all them, Jakeem Noel, they were good players, but some of them were older, and they just wasn't supposed to be going toe to toe with Miami Heat, and they did.
So switching gears, Josh Allen, former MVP, the reigning MVP over Lamar Jackson, voter fatigue. However, he just restructured and got a huge check. Also, they got a new member on that team. So Joey Bosa headed over there to Buffalo. Out of all the signings, And I guess we can go back a couple of days because none of you guys were really on here. But you want to go over day 1, day 2, going into today. Let's talk about needle movers. So we're gonna go around the wheel. Everybody's gonna grab one player. You can't grab the next person's player. You get 1 minute on the clock to talk about said player. And then you're gonna get another minute on the clock to talk about your secondary player. And then y'all are gonna debate why your player was the one that moved the biggest needle for said team. Does everybody get the rules?
Yep.
All right, so Kingo, starting with you.
I'm a, I'm a, I'm a really try my hardest not to be biased, but I think our move was a really good offseason move with the Browns because Myles Garrett could have went out and changed anybody else's franchise. We let him go. And us giving him that amount of money just showed that I think we is serious about rebuilding, not rebuilding, but building a team that could be a contender in the next 2 years. I know everybody don't take us serious because we the Browns, but like over the past 5 years, we've been relevant and more relevant than my lifetime. So I do think Myles Garrett, bringing him back home was one of the biggest free agent moves, just because he could have went to the Eagles and the Eagles could have, went and been a dynasty after that, or he could have went, anywhere else. But we decided to stop playing with that man and bring him back home. So that's my player, and I'm standing with him.
Okay, you got like 13 seconds. You want to slide or you on it?
I'm a slide. Yeah.
Sauce. Sauce going twice. Switching the mic.
Hey, does it have to be a team or can it be or a player or can it be a team?
The argument would be needle moves from the free agency moves, and then we're going to later talk about teams. So right now it can be a trade, it can be a signing, it can be a release, needle moving for a particular player.
Okay. I guess I would have to say,
You're gonna get 2 rounds.
damn, I would say Debo probably going to Washington if he could stay healthy, just for the simple fact of what Jaden Daniels is young and what he's proven, taking them to the NFC Championship. And I mean, he's just proven that adding another weapon to his artillery is just something that could be special, especially if Debo could stay healthy. He gives a run threat. You could pass it to him, and I just feel like that's just really a game changer that you could add to your roster.
Okay, you still got 30 seconds. You want to get anything else or?
Nah, because I mean they did sign another offensive tackle from the Texans, which is beefing up their line. So I mean that ultimately is just gonna help them out in the long run, adding Debo and the offensive lineman from the Texans. So I just feel like Washington is just adding Debo is just something special.
Yeah, you're referring to tons of old heads. Somebody in the comments said best player on the team. That's what MVP means. Doesn't matter. The Browns still don't have a quarterback. Shout out Falcon Holoff. And you need a quarterback to be relevant in the NFL.
Hold your wrist up. Shador coming to Cleveland. Hold your wrist up. I'm gonna leave it there.
Cam.
Oh,
Cam, 1 minute on the clock. Go.
Y'all can hear me? All right. Man, you said we doing player, right? Can I do a player that have not yet signed, but we kind of know where he's going?
Uh-oh. That we're gonna leave that for a later segment. Right now we're on people who have signed.
Already signed. Okay. Then I'm going to go with
You
I
have
think
40 seconds.
I'm gonna go up with Milton. With Milton, I'm gonna go with Milton.
Milton
For the
Williams?
yeah, I really am. I believe that the Patriots, y'all are sleeping on the Patriots. Once they find who for real is going to be their head coach, I know they just got a new dude, but I don't think he's going to be there long. I feel like they're heading in the right direction defensive wise. They always been a team that had a great defense. Milton Gonzalez, some more young cats that they got on that roster coming. I feel like once they get everything back structured, which could take maybe 2 years, I feel like the Patriots is a sleeper, and that people don't recognize how big that signing would be in the next 1 to 2 years. So
Time.
yeah,
Going one more time for Mr. Sauce. Going twice for Mr. Sauce. All right, Kingo, round 2. You have Myles Garrett as your first one. You have another option. You want to take
Okay.
it? Out of everybody that signed, trades, anything. 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, if I'm being non-biased, I do think the Joey Bosa pickup was very good for the Bills, just because simple fact is, they know they probably gonna match up with the Chiefs again. So, having somebody that can, create pressure on Patrick Mahomes, as you just saw in the Super Bowl. When Patrick Mahomes is under a lot of pressure, it doesn't look the best for him. So I do think that pickup was crazy for the Bills, just to have somebody that had that nonstop pressure on him and be able to cause havoc on that front line, with the reigning MVP on the other side of the ball to make plays. So I definitely think the Bills, as a unit, had made a crazy pickup with that pickup right there for sure.
You have 7 seconds left. You going to pass it?
Yeah.
Michael, round 2. Someone that has not been said. Ready? Michael going twice. Cam, round 2. Uh-oh, I think he's having connection issues. Cam, you there?
yeah. Okay, this time I'm going. Thank you, baby. Oh, excuse me, y'all. This time I'm gonna go with old school D Hops. A person who at the beginning of the year when he was with the Chiefs was, looking good, looking fluent in and out of routes. It kind of slowed down as the season progressed. But him being out there for Lamar, I feel like with healthy Zay Flowers likely emerging as the number 1 tight end with Andrews as a backup, I feel like this offense finally can maybe push past the second round this time. I really do think so. If D Hop don't have to do too much, and he can, pretty much save himself, go through the season, save himself for the playoffs, we'll be good, man. We're just missing a real wide receiver number 1. I don't think he's gonna change the next 5 couple years, but I think for right now and what we need immediately with this team, he definitely is a big signing that people gonna sleep on. He got something to prove.
You got 3, 2, 1. Good timing on that. So we got somebody in the comments. Falcon Halab. Okay, when I say Falcon Halab, this is Solomon from GT, but we are reading off him for Falcon Halab today. He said Vrabel is a good head coach, but he's defensive minded. So if he could put together the offense, then yes, the Pats can be a threat. But they are bringing back Josh McDaniels as well. Sauce, do you have anybody you want to throw? Oh, he has a work call. Sauce will join us back in a little bit on the next debate. Michael, do you have a second player that you want to?
Yep. I do. I do.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
All right. So my second player would have to be what's his name? Hufanga from the 49ers that just went to the Broncos. The Broncos is a sleeper team. Look at their record. They were 10-7 last year. I think adding him to the defense is just gonna be something special, something crazy that you're gonna want to see. And he's a game changer. I mean, he's not scared to hit. He hugs the ball. I mean, he's just something different. And adding him, and then also you could go adding Greenlaw to the Broncos as well. I think both of them are just difference makers.
20 seconds.
I'm cool.
All right, so everybody got your players. We got Tui Fulanga and Debo for Mike. We got Milton and D-Hop for Cam. And we got Joey Bosa and Myles Garrett for Mr. Kingo. I'm going to open up the floor for 2 minutes and 2 minutes only. We're going to be a little bit more strict. 2 minutes, 2 minutes only. You can argue your point for why one of your players was a needle mover, or argue why one of the others is not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna open up the floor in 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Have at it.
All right.
Yeah. So I think Joey Bosa is probably the biggest needle mover out of all the guys we mentioned. Off the simple fact of the team he just joined, it was literally one game away from going to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. And so I think with that being said, he's in the best position to actually go to the Super Bowl and go and play on the biggest stage in the NFL in general.
The reason why I'm going to disagree with you because a defensive lineman wasn't the reason they got there. I mean, didn't get there last year. The reason the Ravens didn't get to the next round to play the Chiefs instead of the Bills was because we didn't have a number one wide receiver. Yeah, Zay Flowers was also out too, which hurt us. But we also would have done way better and been able to open the field up if we had somebody like D Hop.
We love Lamar. We love Lamar, but Lamar was the reason y'all didn't go. We love Lamar, but Lamar was the reason. Lamar
played an okay first half.
As a matter of fact, he got beat by the team that Joey Bosa's joining too, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah. But look, Joey Bosa just played all last year. Was he a big threat? Was he a big threat?
Well, I mean, the Chargers, they made it to the playoffs. But
no,
I don't
Joey Bosa himself a big threat. Is he the same Joey Bosa we know? 35-year-old. Is he the same Joey Bosa? He's not. And if you were saying this about 3 or 4 years ago, I'd be like, damn, man, I can't argue against bro. Shit, that's Joey Bosa. But this is a whole different Joey Bosa.
And a whole different situation, though. That's more effective. Right. It's more of a win now situation. Let's just be real. The Chargers are not win now. The Chargers are not an organization that you're going to go into the season fear. But the Buffalo Bills is, and D-Hop was just in a situation. Well, you talked about D-Hop, right?
Yeah, where he thrived, and then it slowed down as Worthy started to become the more number one guy, and then he had a little bit of
So now he's going to be a number 2 option again to Zay Flowers, which I think he'll be in the same predicament and have the same type of season. Whereas he might not affect the game as much.
And that's literally what we need. Hopkins or Bateman. You know what I'm saying?
So in the comments it says, didn't you just say that D-Hop wasn't a number 1?
Who, me?
Yep.
Yeah, he's not a number one guy. I don't need. That's what I'm telling y'all. We don't need him to be a number one guy. Even I said him or Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers not proven yet. This guy's proven. You know what I'm saying? So if I say he's number 1, I don't mean he's the better wide receiver at the moment. I just mean he might be the outside wide receiver. Zay Flowers is 5'10", 5'9". It's hard to put him on the outside. If you can have an outside wide receiver that's not Bateman and have Zay Flowers work the middle, and then have a down the field guy like Bateman, and then have a down the field tight end like Likely, and then have a running back like Henry. Oh my God.
Okay, so in terms of skill weapons, that's great. But in 30 seconds, I'm pretty sure both of y'all can't argue why passing I mean, let's be honest. In 30 seconds, I don't think you can give me. Okay, let's try. In 30 seconds, you can go second, Cam. Kingo, in 30 seconds, give me a reason why the Bills did not win their most recent playoff win and why Joey Bosa would help that. 30 seconds on the clock. 3.
Oh, my bad. Go. I think Joey Bosa would help put more pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and help the Bills get stops and help them get the ball out of his hands. Yes, he can't play every position, but his position is very important because his position helps create pressure on the quarterback, and he helps the quarterback make bad plays or maybe get a sack or 2 occasionally. And like we just seen, he can be folded by the front 7. That the defensive ends and D tackles are big parts of stopping Patrick Mahomes more than the DBs, because under pressure and getting him out the pocket and getting him uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Cam, 3.
That was real good.
2.
But let me show you why mine's better. So last year when we played the Bills, the reason we lost was not because Lamar. Lamar finished the game 18-25 with 254 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Correct. Our leading wide receiver was a tight end, Isaiah Likely, with 4 catches, 73 yards. Our next was Rashad Bateman. And then our next one was Mark Andrews. So when you get Zay Flowers back, D Hop, and then you have like that, the guy I just said, likely being able to be a tight end and just have to go against a linebacker instead of having your safety move down because nobody else a threat. That is crazy. Lamar put 18 and 25. Then when you still got Derrick
Time.
Henry.
Okay, so shout out Sauce, shout out Mike for joining us in this one. One had to go get the kids, and one of them had to go back to work. But I guess out of the people who are viewing, I don't think nobody really is gonna throw votes. So I'm just gonna, really, y'all both had really good points. Y'all both had really good points. I do honestly think though I'm sold more on Joey Bosa being an impact on the Bills than D Hop being one more weapon for Lamar, who in the playoffs shouldn't be throwing the ball as much anyway.
Yeah.
It's
I
shown.
can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So when someone in the comments said Joey over D Hop only had 400 yards last year, 173 the year before that. You can blame injuries and steroids, but yeah, I definitely think this one will have to be Joey Bosa. So guys, heading to our next topic. It's just us three, so I'm probably gonna chime in a little bit more and kind of bite at you guys' neck to, push you guys. Right here. Speaking of DeAndre Hopkins, can you name a team that kind of has how can I describe this? So you know how sometimes, like the Ravens, as an old player, you can go to the Ravens as a receiver, and then you're never really seen again. Can you name another position for another team that's like that? I'm gonna give the example of the Ravens in 1 second. I have this in my notes. I'm just gonna read it off.
That's crazy you said that. I know where you talking about the graveyard.
Yeah, the graveyard.
With Dez Bryant, Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
They're the graveyard.
Graveyard, man. I think that is incredible. Just incredible graveyard, man.
Was it his go or me?
Y'all both have time to think right now because I'm trying to find this example.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try this again. Name a team in the league where a specific position coincidentally goes to die. An example, the Baltimore Ravens with receivers. In history's past, we have Dez Bryant, Deshaun Jackson, Stephen Smith Sr., Odell Beckham Jr., Jeremy Maclin, Anquan Bolden, and now DeAndre Hopkins, where coincidentally they end their career with the Ravens. Now, someone said earlier in the comments that the Raiders have a carousel like that as well with quarterbacks. Jamarcus Russell, Palmer, etc. Do you have a different position or maybe a different team for your own? I'll give you both 2 minutes to have your person. 3, 2, Cam go first. Cam go first.
Okay, you said team or a position that has a graveyard.
Yes.
Okay, I will go with we already just said my Ravens with the wide receiver position. I think I'm gonna go with a place where people go I guess to fade away. Phew, this is kinda hard thinking about it like this. I guess I'm gonna say the Cowboys. And what type of players go to the Cowboys and fade away? Usually running backs. There's not too many running backs that they picked up or anything or even came home as far as Ezekiel Elliott that has thrived. Think of one running back the Cowboys have signed where everybody was excited for, but he didn't thrive. Then they also have one of the Cook brothers, or am I tripping?
No, but the Bills got a Cook brother. Oh, Dalvin. Yeah, he went.
Yeah. Yeah, he went there, and it looked like that's probably it for him. He could shake back next year, but like I said, we don't know. We're talking about graveyards. Like I said, then Zeke went back home. It wasn't good for him. I really can't think too much of a team that really has a graveyard like the Baltimore Ravens do with those wide receivers.
Okay, That's fine. You have 30 seconds. You want to try to dig a little bit more, or you're just gonna?
Yeah, I could dig a little more. If we want to. I don't know. I wouldn't really say the quarterbacks go here and fade away, but I definitely feel like this has been a place where a lot of backup quarterbacks have came in and they didn't get any success as well either. The Jets and quarterbacks. People always go to the Jets for a second chance, some even a third chance, and have not worked out. So I'm afraid for Sam Darnold, I believe that's who just signed with the. Oh no, for Justin Fields, who just signed with the Jets because they have not been able to have a successful quarterback since I've been alive. So
Time.
yeah.
Kingo, you're gonna wait, and I'm gonna throw a team out there in a position to maybe twist your wing a little bit. I'm gonna go with quarterbacks the Cleveland Browns. Woo!
I was literally gonna say that, brother. I was gonna say that,
Okay,
brother.
go
Then
ahead.
you
Go
got the
ahead.
great one.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now, in terms of I want to clarify this. Okay, we don't ruin quarterbacks. They come here to end their career and die. Okay, from the RG3s to the present Deshaun Watsons to which he came here to die, but I think he got revived accidentally. Joe Flacco, I think he was supposed to die here, but it was an accident. He got revived here. From the Colt McCoys, Tim Kyle, you name it. I think.
Oh my.
I think you missed a couple there.
That's still
Johnny
just a lot right there,
Manziel,
though.
Baker Mayfield.
Wait, Manziel. I can't let you do that. He was already
Whoa,
corrupt
yeah,
when he
that's-
came here. He was already corrupt. But Baker, I think we did Baker the worst way, especially with us never being a winning franchise, and he gave us a winning season after I think 10 years. Might be longer than that, but I think we don't know how to deal with quarterbacks. I think that's something new to us that we're adjusting with, and I think we don't know how to build. If I'm being quite frankly, I think us being able to build is new too. Just because the talent nowadays is just you can't deny it with building talent now. So I definitely think we're a rotten place for quarterbacks, but I think it's getting better. I don't think it's like the Ravens is still present. The receivers are going over there and dying actively. Whereas us, at least there's a little bit of hope. But I think we are a landing spot for QBs to end their careers and die off at.
Whoa.
But-
I'm gonna cut you off there.
He has 14 seconds. He has 14.
But I think we're getting better. I do think we had Bernie Kosar and he came here, he got drafted here, but he came back to die. Things like that. Those things stick.
Time.
Oh.
Now 2 minutes for controversy. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait, you can't say not like the Ravens. Y'all still haven't had that quarterback to proven himself. So y'all are like the Ravens still. It's still accurate.
Brother, y'all haven't had.
Listen, y'all, I know we haven't had a wide receiver number one since Anquan Bolden, right? That's the last one I can remember. That's because Anquan Bolden and me and you were still going to the skating ring on Friday. Probably did. You know what I'm saying?
We were still working it out in the skating rings, brother, when y'all had a receiver. I'm gonna just say this: QB wise, Joe Flacco came here to die, but he also went 11-5 here and was still second in your division after y'all, respectfully.
I mean, and to be respectfully, we still been number one. We went number 3, 6, and still always made the playoffs in our division with those nasty wide receivers. We even won a Super Bowl. I think our Super Bowl is way more recent than you guys, and I know it is just because it was with Ray Lewis and everybody. So this is not the retirement home yet.
For receivers, it might be. For receivers, we ain't talking about players. For receivers,
yeah, for receivers, yeah. But then
it's a retirement home.
Well.
So someone in the comments said running backs in New England and quarterbacks in Cleveland. Hold on.
Whoa. I say, look, that's why I said they can say quarterbacks in Cleveland, but running backs in New England, a lot of them went there and still won a Super Bowl. I know people like LeGarrette Blount who left and thought he got signed at the last second, won a Super Bowl.
It still might be a dying spot for him, though.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I guess the numbers don't be as good.
Just because you've been revived doesn't mean you didn't die. So he says, how many first-round picks have the Browns had that didn't pan out for quarterbacks? Wasn't it 17 different QBs? It's for sure a developmental issue in Cleveland for that position.
Thank you.
Okay. I will say we've had the most QBs of all time.
And y'all
We
ruined
have.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel was a frat boy who was doing things he shouldn't have been doing. I won't disclose for the pod, but he was a bad guy. Man, that kid didn't watch film. He was not gonna make it
Hold on
wherever
now.
he got drafted
Hold on,
at.
now, hold on. I like that. I like that what you're saying. But how many quarterbacks out there have been caught not watching film? I.e.,
A lot of them.
Kyler.
And you,
I mean,
and
there's
you
some.
look,
Come on now.
and you still can fix them, and they still been fixed. Like, come on, man. That's the thing. Y'all just don't. Y'all don't have the. If y'all owner, he don't have the patience, and he just don't have
Okay.
the. He don't have the formula.
Okay.
He don't have
Okay.
the formula.
Of recent times, Baker Mayfield is probably our only mess up of recent times. Like of quarterback that had the talent and that could actually be good that we screwed up. Baker Mayfield was.
You can't say that
the-
because all them, any
recent.
quarterback in the NFL got talent. It's the way you go with them. If you looked at off of just actual, all right, let's look at this guy. Tom Brady would have looked like poop. It's how you develop them guys. Every NFL quarterback has talent.
With us?
Huh?
You said Tom Brady would look like poop with us. You said
No, I'm saying it probably would have, yeah. But because y'all don't know how to do it.
Yes.
No.
You don't know
No.
how to develop
No.
talent. You guys
First of
have
all,
talent.
we had Bill Belichick as well. So you know,
How did that
if
turn
it,
out?
And how did exactly had? You guys got to learn how to
Yes,
keep
it would
these
have
guys in the
done
organization.
if we just revived Joe Flacco. Yo boy, he is a Raven. He was on his way out the door.
Yeah, he is.
And we revived Joe Flacco and got him some money. He was with the Jets.
Okay, hold on.
He was with the Jets and almost died with the Jets.
Hold on. Let me explain something about Joe Flacco.
The Jets killed
Wait a
more
minute,
QBs than
wait a
us.
minute,
That's a
wait
fact.
Wait a minute. The past 20 years, Joe Flacco has been the line. Joe Flacco has been the teether of if you're above Joe Flacco, you're considered a star and better. If you're below Joe Flacco, that means your job's in jeopardy. Joe Flacco has been
never
the
been
line for 20 years. So to say you revive someone who, with a decent
who's always
team,
been average,
puts you into playoffs just to get flipped upside down and curb stomped against the Texans, right? That doesn't really mean that you.
Which we sabotaged at the end, by the way.
and look,
Three picks in the first half.
Had amazing rosters. Like look, you was even one of your
He's
arguments
there.
earlier.
Yeah.
One of your
Cleveland has good rosters. They don't have a quarterback. And they're missing some depth at the receiver.
So QB's coming here to die more than the Jets? Aaron Rodgers just died broad daylight. What we talking about?
You said he
what we
was
talking about?
daylight?
Okay, go bang for bang with that. Okay,
Zach Wilson died broad daylight.
Wait. Cam, can you argue Jets football? Yes or no?
Yeah, I can argue anybody.
All right, Cam, Jets.
Oh,
Kingo,
so I'm the Jets.
Browns. Y'all about to argue. Y'all about to push for each other 30 seconds apiece on why your team is not the ultimate QB graveyard. Jets.
Dang, it's hard to say
Browns.
that.
And you lucky Vinny ain't on here. You lucky Vinny.
I wish Vinny was here. I wish Vinny was here, bro. I wish Vinny was here.
He go first. Jets is crazy. That's a hard one, but he first.
I mean, there's not much for me to say. I'm telling you this now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this now. The Jets are more of a landing spot for QBs to die than us. It's just we just saw a 4-time MVP go there and die, broad daylight.
At what age? And after what injury?
Is he dead though? He got injured this year. He didn't play bad. This year he's still basically he did go for 4,000 yards, right?
They showed the numbers and he had the same numbers as Mahomes.
Yeah,
Grayson.
he's not dead, brother.
Joe Flacco was the same age as Aaron Rodgers, and he got to the playoffs here in a harder division. Our division's harder.
Whoa.
Our division's harder. Our division is harder.
No, your division is harder. Yeah.
But the year Joe Flacco went, there was no negative team in our division. There was not one negative team in our division when he went.
I'm trying to tell you, this is why Browns are worse. You have had defensive rosters that have been amazing. I've literally sat and watched the Browns lose 8 games in the season, but all 8 games were under 14 points. You can't get a quarterback. The Jets, their situation different. They haven't even been able to get hands on the quarterback as far as anything that has a name besides Mark Sanchez, who had one good year, got them to the playoffs. You're arguing playoffs. Mark Sanchez got them to the playoffs. So whoever quarterback got y'all to the playoffs, Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez did the same, and then he faded off into the clouds. Besides that, neither one of us has had any success. But you have had better rosters as far as defenses goes to be able to have success, and y'all still have not had that success. And y'all
I
would never have
mean,
this. You just had Deshaun Watson and James Winston. Y'all still couldn't get there.
Okay, let me ask
Okay,
you
hold
a
on.
point.
You can't.
Okay, hold
You
on.
can't bag. You can't bag. You can't
Okay,
down
Okay,
talk
hold
these
on.
guys.
Hold on. Because Deshaun Watson was not on us. That was on Deshaun Watson.
Well,
That
no,
was
no,
on
that's
him.
not true. That's
No,
not true.
we're talking about his play, not his off the field stuff. His play is there. Y'all couldn't even get Deshaun Watson comfortable. Y'all had this man under center still,
Running
basically
for
at his
Deshaun
first
Jackson
year.
was running for his life. Receivers dropping the ball. That's not all Deshaun
Y'all
Watson.
serious right now?
No,
Are y'all
he was
serious?
terrible.
That's not
No,
on.
he was terrible. Look,
That's
he was
not on
terrible.
Deshaun. He was 8-8 as a Brown.
The scheme
That
was
is the
wrong.
definition of mid. The
You want to know
8-8.
why? It's
And
y'all
three-
guys. Look,
He
was
played
able to
3
win 8 games.
years.
All right, hold
He
on,
was
hold
able to
on,
win
hold on.
8 games in a shitty offense. Y'all
Hold
had look, it was games
A
that y'all had
shitty
Deshaun Watson.
offense.
Y'all
Hold
had
on, hold on,
Deshaun
hold on.
Watson under
Hold on.
center.
Hold
Under
on.
center.
Hold on, wait. That's a great point, Cam. Shout out to my wife. Hey, sweetie. So Cam brought up a point that the scheme was bad. And let's talk about Baker for a second. We've known since college, Baker can throw
Exactly.
man all day. Baker
Yeah.
cannot read zone. And the
Yeah.
Browns failed him on putting schemes together that can help him against zone. You look when he went to the Bucks, and you look at the success that's happened. That's the same thing I feel with Deshaun Watson. It is a coincidence.
Exactly. That's
It is
what
a
I'm trying to say.
coincidence that after everything off the field, he then went to the Browns. That is a coincidence. But I feel like it is a double stack on top that the Browns organization has failed him creating a structure that can help him succeed in what he's best at. Does that make sense? Can you argue against that? They weren't able to do it with Johnny. They weren't able to do it with RG3. They were not able to do it with Joe Flacco, who is the literal 500 tier quarterback. They have not been able to bring the best out of any quarterback in 20, 30 years.
And answer this for me. Answer this for me. And y'all answer
Oh
this for
my
me.
God!
No,
we brought the best out of Baker. He retired Big Ben in year 2. We brought the best out of that man.
No, you have not. Baker has
before
played
Baker
better
got there.
in Tampa, and that's why he gotten paid. Baker's played
Listen,
better in Tampa than he did in Cleveland. That's why he's gotten paid.
Exactly.
RG3 was washed when he came here. Deshaun Watson
No.
was trash.
When y'all
Trash when he
said,
got
no,
here.
he was not trash. If y'all literally ran this, did y'all run the same offense that he ran at the Texans, right? So you know how it goes. No, y'all didn't, right? Why? Y'all did not. Chubb was already gone, so y'all had no excuse to be like, okay, well, we got
Chubb was here. Chubb was here. Chubb was
He
here.
was coming off of what injury? That was his second injury.
No. When Deshaun Watson got here, Chubb was peaking. When Deshaun Watson got here, Chubb was peaking. When Deshaun Watson got here,
He got hurt. Did he get hurt? He got
year
hurt.
Year two is when.
In year one, what did he do? Year one, what did Chubb do with Watson? Pull it up real quick.
Watson got hurt, and then we made the playoffs with Joe Flacco. Watson was trash.
Y'all wasn't so that look, and when he came back the next year, if y'all had already made the playoffs, that's what I'm saying. If y'all already made the playoffs and y'all had the same exact team, and it wasn't just Watson, why couldn't y'all make it the next year? If y'all would, because you look, all y'all had to do was when y'all got him, when y'all got Flacco, y'all customized yourself to Flacco. Flacco's an easy guy to customize yourself to because you can run I formation.
Can I give you an example, bro?
Watson in I formation.
Go ahead.
Can I give you an example, bro? First of all, before he got injured this year, we only had 2 wins. We only had 2 wins. Before he got injured this year, I wasn't even hating on Deshaun Watson none this year because he was my quarterback. That's weird to hate on my quarterback. Before he got injured, he did not throw for 200 yards. Before he got injured, he didn't beat the Raiders. Before he got injured, he didn't beat the Giants. Before he got injured, he didn't beat the Bengals, who had the worst defense in the NFL. So yes, it's on that man. Yes, he was trash. Bro, I just told you a quarterback didn't put up 200 yards. That's trash, bro.
Okay,
let's just be real.
You ready now? So
last year, before he got injured, he didn't throw for 300.
He did not. You're right. You're right. I would tell you 2 bad games he played. He played horrible against the Washington. He played horrible against the Giants. No, listen. Let me break this down. This is horrible. So in the versus the Giants, he went 21 for 37 on 56% completion. That's nasty. Especially when you're throwing check downs. And then against Washington, he went 15 for 28, 125 yards. That's disgusting on 53%. Nasty. Okay, after that, y'all lost 20-16. He went 24 for 32, 75% completions, 1 interception. That's it. And he got sacked, 5 times? That's a great game. The QBR wasn't bad at all either. He had an 84.9 rating. So it's all right. Then you got the other game before he got injured against who? Philly. This is Philly, a top defense. He went 16 for 23. You only threw the ball 23 times and y'all throw check down routes. He was 69%, 69.6. That's 70%. 0 interceptions. He got sacked 5 times. The next game he got sacked 7 times.
But you gotta
On
realize,
88% completion. He
He
went
was
15.
running for
The
his
game he
life
got
back
hurt.
there. That's true.
I think a lot
The game he
came
got
with
hurt,
that
he went
though.
15 for 17.
I think a lot came with that because I think it was rumors that our lineman didn't want to block for him too. So
Oh, and look, and that's come with it. That's what I'm
but
saying.
that's
Don't
not
just
on the
blame Deshaun Watson,
organization,
bro.
That's
Because
personal though.
and look, and I feel them. I understand them as a man off the field. I f him, but I'm just saying I don't get paid $1 million like them. That's your job. You get paid $1 million. That's your
You can't
job.
blame the organization for his play. I just told you that man did not throw for 300 in 3 years as a Brown. 3 years you didn't throw for 300?
Bro,
How
and
can I
every
not
year-
blame
You see how much he's getting sacked?
Bro,
Come on.
first of all, he wasted our O-line's prime. When he got here, our O-line was peaking in 2022. They were peaking. Our
Did he get
O-line
hurt?
was good.
Then in 2022, I thought he got hurt quick.
He
Or he
got
played the
hurt
whole
every
season.
year he was here. He never played a full season. He got
Yeah,
hurt
never played
every
a full
year.
season, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying in 2022, how many games did he play?
2022, he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. He played 6 games.
And how do those numbers look in
He
those
won a
6
total
games?
of 3 and 3,
3 and 3.
Yep.
and he had 1,000 yards,
Yep.
7 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yep. Now, how many times did he get sacked?
Yeah, 20 sacks. Yeah, 20 sacks.
That's really good.
That is
considering those
crazy,
numbers.
bro. That's ridiculous. 20 sacks?
Like, that's fair considering those numbers. Be for real.
Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. And look, I'm not even, I hate, look, like I
at
said,
his
off the
face. He's
field,
so defeated.
off the
King,
field, F him.
ah!
But look, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
I can't let this man get off scot-free. Like, I was
I'm
not bashing
saying-
Watson.
look, he
I
played
was not bashing
53%
him.
games.
But if we're talking about us ruining the guy, that guy came here corrupt. He came here corrupt.
He came here corrupt politically.
No, Jets
but not
quarterbacks
on the
come there,
field.
come around.
Great
Look,
take.
that's what I'm saying.
He didn't,
Y'all had
he didn't throw
talent.
for 300 yards in 3 years. Great
No.
take. What do you mean?
Look, our argument
What do you-
was who made quarterbacks worse, Jets
then-
or Browns?
And then let's
It's
go
the
to RG3 because I know RG3
It's
came
the
here.
Browns. This is why, because
Disgustingly.
that was our argument, right? Who made quarterbacks worse? Y'all quarterbacks come there and they had better years elsewhere, and there it was their worst years.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Their quarterbacks always are shitty.
Let me ask you a question, though. If Sam Darnold comes up there and throws a stinker in Seattle, what does that mean
Then-
for the Jets? Because
then
Zach
I'ma
Wilson
get-
hasn't got no snaps, right? I mean, we can go down the list for the Jets quarterbacks.
Facts. But look, also say this: which one of them quarterbacks came there and already had a name before they came there? We talking about Browns. They have quarterbacks that had names before they got there and made them not have
No.
names anymore.
No.
That's making the quarterback
No.
worse.
No.
Am I lying?
Michael Vick, Aaron Rodgers. There's some
No,
quarterbacks that
Play a game. Did Michael Vick play a game?
That played for us? Oh, you talking
No,
about
the
them?
Jets.
How about
No,
that?
we never the Jets. Did he even play a
Yeah.
game? I remember he was fat.
he threw a pick against the Steelers, and then he's on the Eagles then.
Yeah, that was a trick play, probably. Come on now.
He threw a pick. He's a quarterback. Michael Vick's a quarterback. He threw a pick against the Steelers to Tagovailoa, and Palomalu, and then he speared him when on the return. I remember that very vividly.
I'm saying as a Jet.
I just said that could have been on the Eagles, but regardless, you had Tyrod Taylor, you've had Aaron Rodgers, you've had Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Zach
see, you're not
Wilson.
saying nobody who had a name. None of these dudes had a name before they got there. Mike Vick was just got out of jail.
Aaron Rodgers ain't
Come
had
on,
no
man.
name.
That's the only one you can say. That's it. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers. That's the only one. Them other guys, Tyrod Taylor was never even started. He's a glorified backup, and he's a great backup quarterback.
Okay, here we go. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Geno Smith, Brett Favre.
Not Gino.
Gino never had a name till he left. Gino had a name when he left. So you're right. That's what you can add that. Like I said, your guys they come there and already had a name.
Bro. Joe Flacco was on the Jets the year before he came to us and was in the playoffs a year later. I'm just saying.
He played and started all the season with the Jets.
Yeah, he played for the Jets. Yeah, I remember him beating us vividly.
I'm saying he started that whole year.
I don't know if he
Or
started
did
the
he
whole
come in
year.
again like what, game 3 like they always do, or game 5?
I mean, either way go, he did the same thing with us and got to the playoffs.
Well, can I
Like he did the
mention
same.
that Joe
He didn't
Flacco
start with us.
also has historically done well
Because
with
I know,
a
I remember
under
that. I remember
center?
you. I remember what you're talking about. It was like 2020, like the pandemic year or something like that. I remember that.
I want to also
I remember
mention
it's
that
nasty, but I remember it
Joe
because
Flacco
he
has
had a
done
few
good.
games actually with them. Yeah, look, he never look on the Jets. He went. He played 5 games, 2 games, and 5 games. Like, come on, man.
How many games he played with us? Let me see. His name Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco historically has done good with play action system type system, so it kind of fits the bill.
And that's why, because Joe Flacco, you can run basic football with him. That's why he's that type of guy. He's a prototypical quarterback, and there's nothing wrong with that. So he can work anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna list some names off right now, and see what you guys think about these names. And then after I list these names, then we're gonna see where we go from there. We got Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Trey Lance, Gardner Minshew, Nick Chubb, Gus Edwards, Kareem Hunt, Jamal Williams, AJ Dillon, Dante Foreman, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, Juju, Evan Ingram, Mo Alley Cox, CJ Uzoma. Y'all getting the gist of all these names on here?
Not really.
I'll say a couple more. Matthew Judon, Von Miller, Dante Fowler, DeMarcus
Are
Walker.
these the guys that's still left in the free agency?
Yes, sir. Brandon
Yep.
Graham, James Smith Williams, Malik Collins, Morgan Fox. I mean, it's a lot of talent out here. Khalil Davis, Taquan Graham.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys. Look, I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but you do got to talk about America's team.
Okay.
Did they fail another year in free agency?
Well, the question here that I will arise is that of all the free agents at all the positions, Asante Samuel, there's plenty. Tre'Davious White, right? So there's every position that's still out there. Who is left that can be a needle pusher for a team in free agency?
Damn.
You can't say the same person. You're gonna get. Let's go with 30 seconds apiece, 3 rounds, 30 seconds to pick somebody and say why. Go ahead, Cam.
You said, dang. I'm gonna go first. I guess I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the biggest needle mover right now in free
Going
agency.
where?
Just
Wait, I'm gonna pause your time.
Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh. So they kind of making it clear that they don't want Russell Wilson anymore. They seen what that experiment already looked like. It got him, above 500, but it didn't get him into the playoffs. So I think they go with Aaron Rodgers, like I said, and you bring in DK Metcalf. Najee Harris is gone, but then it's like you said, it's a lot of backs in this draft you can pick up to go with Jalen Warren, who's a nice and proven 2-back. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers, if he get there, can get comfortable with Mike Tomlin, I think he can finally get these guys to the playoffs.
Kingo, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers is off the board. You can say Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings. You can say another player to a different team, but you got 2 more rounds after this one. 3, 2, 1, go.
I probably would go A-Rod to the Vikings. Just because he probably is the biggest free agent name like out there left. That could probably like really change something going on because he's a quarterback at free agent. But I think with the Vikings, it's more of his fitting with the elite receiver they got over there and in the elite defense as well. And I just think they have more of the intangibles to help him be better. And I think he would do better in the NFC.
So obviously this is tough to try to squeeze 30 seconds, but that's the purpose of like the exercise. So we're gonna go rapid fire back to you, Kingo, and then Cam, you're gonna do 2 in a row, and then Kingo, you're gonna finish on the 6th one. You see what I'm saying? So
Okay.
next player, next team. 3, 2, 1.
I also think I seen talks of the Browns acquiring Russell Wilson. I think that would be a good pickup, a needle mover, just because I do think we're gonna draft one of those quarterbacks top 2. So I think that's can be kind of like the Justin Fields situation, just have him around in the locker room as a presence for that quarterback we draft. And maybe putting them in game managing situations where we could use a higher level of IQ in situational football where we can win certain games. And I think he still, he still is a champ. At the end of the day, he still can bring that winning pedigree to our franchise that we've never had.
Cam, player 2.
All right. Nobody talked about this whole time we've been talking. Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper going back to Dallas. I think that would be a great reunion. What is this, round 3? It will be maybe round 2. I forgot if he already been back. But that would be a great pickup for the Cowboys. As we've seen, they had CD, who's labeled himself as the number 1. Him and Cooper together already put up great numbers. They don't have a wide receiver 2 right now that's a real live threat. But those guys are nice threes and slot guys. So if you were able to get 2 outside guys, even let CD work the middle again, I think the Cowboys' offense becomes a threat. And this puts them in a good position.
Player number 3. Cam, 3, 2.
I'm gonna go with Asante Samuel Jr. A great corner. Going to, I want to say, when it might be crazy just on a 1-year deal just to go back to the Eagles, and y'all probably be like, what? Just because the releasing of Darius Slay, they got rid of safety CJ Gardner. I know they got a trade from the Bills, but Asante Samuel's on the defense of front that is dominating. And him being the lockdown corner this year instead of Slay, who was on the back end of his career, I think that would be a great fit.
Kingo, 3rd player. 1, 2, 3.
I think Justin Simmons. I think he is another key piece in this free agency because I believe he's in talks with the Eagles. And with them losing as many pieces as they've lost this all season, I think he'll be a crazy addition to them. Just because I still think he still is very good at his position, and I think he still can be effective at his position. And with everything that the Eagles kind of have going on with the aura of winning and the aura of having already some elite play on defense, I think he could actually come over and make that defense look like they really didn't lose a beat and make them look like they're still elite.
That was fantastic. So I'm gonna open up the floor for 2 minutes. Let's go 1 minute and 30 seconds. That was good. That's good. Little short takes. Open up the floor for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Y'all can discuss with each other another one that someone else said, or you can bring up someone else to the floor. You can say why their needle was wrong, you know what I mean? Or argue about why yours was the best, right? So, out of all 6 people that was talked about, Cam, do you want to pick one of those 6 people, or do you want to pick someone else for your 1.5 minutes?
I'm gonna still go with A-Rod.
Okay,
To the Steelers.
3, 2, 1, go.
The reason I say A-Rod to the Steelers again, just because I said this is a team that is always consistently over 500 the last couple of years, but just can't either get into that first round or get past it. They don't need much. A good offensive front, so this can keep Rodgers from having to be as mobile as he had to be last year. But he showed us he still can be mobile, but you just don't want him to have to be. They got a established defense, a great coach. I just feel like Rodgers to the Steelers makes a lot of sense, just because it's a team that's on the brick of a championship team. They just literally always needed a quarterback since Big Ben's been.
I think it'll be bad for his career.
Hold on.
Oh, I thought it was arguing. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I thought we would too.
Y'all both gonna get 1 minute 30, and then to talk about your super player or your argument against the other player, and then I'm open for 2 minutes for you both to go at it.
Bet.
You got about
I
40
can
seconds.
see why you would say A-Rod to the Vikings though as well, just because they re-signed Aaron Jones, so they got a running back and they got Jordan, whatever his name is, or Jordanson, and they got Jetta. So that makes sense. But this is just a Steelers team that's, like I've said, got a coaching staff that's proven. And if you look at it, they've been on the brink of being a championship team every year. Every year they just don't have a quarterback. They just don't have a quarterback, and I feel like him and Mike Tomlin can get along. He just won't be able to run things.
So before you go, Kingo, somebody in the comments said, Anthony Holder 99 said, Russ to the Browns, fire. 2-15 to 4-13. Fire.
Okay,
Fourth
and we
place
gotta get him on the
AFC
pod.
North.
We gotta get him on the pod ASAP. That boy knows sports. And we gotta get you on the pod, brother.
Kingo. You got 1:30 on the clock skis. Ready to roll?
Yeah.
Go.
Honestly, I think if I think A-Rod to the Steelers will be bad for his career, because I think one thing about the North is the toughest division in football right now, in my opinion. Like tough, like really tough to play in. So I don't think this would be the best conditions for him. And I think him going to the Vikings would be really good, just because he's familiar with the NFC. He's familiar with that division as well. He's already been in that division. And the Vikings are already good, went 14-3. Whereas the Steelers are, they never go negative, but they just be positive. And they're, let's be honest, it'll be harder for him to make it to the next round in the playoffs in the AFC in general. The AFC is just a very tougher conference. So when you talk about him going back to the NFC, it's just more familiarity and more of a style and brand of football he's used to playing. And the Vikings are already extremely good. Like, the Steelers are good, but the Vikings are extremely good. Whereas where Sam Darnold just got paid off of the Vikings being so good. Not saying that Sam Darnold didn't have the ability to get paid, but I do think what the Vikings provided for him and made his job a little bit more easier than normal. Whereas him going to the Steelers, I just think the Steelers have a lot more to resolve still. Yeah, they brought DK over, but they're not really known for being an offensive powerhouse. And I think whereas the Vikings are a little bit more known for, being a little bit more both, of having that really good defense and offense.
So now I'm going to put 1.5 minutes on the clock, and you two have the open field to go at it. Remember, you only got 1.5 minutes, so get as much as you can out. 3, 2, 1, go.
That take was terrible. No, I'm just messing with you. That was a great take. Like I said, I understand what you're saying. I really do. But that's my point exactly. They had never been known as being a powerhouse offense, but they were to become one, getting DK, Pickens, Pat. They got Pat at tight end, Calvin Austin as a number 3. They got Mike Williams as the number, down the field guy. He has weapons. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of weapons, and it just makes.
But can he get the ball off? Can he get the ball off over here? Like in the AFC in general, I just don't think A-Rod is going to be good in the AFC. I think he needs to go back NFC. I just think that's where he's better at. His career thrived at over there in the NFC. I just think he doesn't need to be in the AFC.
If A-Rod's who we say he is, it don't matter. It shouldn't matter the conference. I feel like he should look at it too. This is who A-Rod is, a big ego guy. I don't think he cares about that. I hope he wouldn't. But I also
think the Steelers should go younger. QB. I think they should get somebody mobile and younger.
Right? You think so, right? But I also was about to argue that against your point, because the Vikings, for your take, just had an amazing year. Yeah. Sam Darnold's not an old guy. If you were looking to win now, why not try to repeat the recipe that just got you the best record you had since almost Adrian Peterson days? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why not redo that? You know what I'm saying? So what are y'all looking to do? Are y'all looking to maybe make a big trade draft night? And
so, great takes from both of you. I want to say, I'm surprised that nobody said Nick Chubb going to like the Steelers or someone like
I think they come home.
Mekhi Becton or DJ Humphries or some offensive line heading to Chicago or heading to Houston. the Steelers really missed, really missed being able to score inside the red zone. And CJ and Caleb were both running for their lives, and it is a outstanding amount of linemen that can complementary play in the free agency right now. Also, to mention, heading to our next point, there is a lot of decent running backs in the free agency market, and a lot of running backs coming out of the draft. Take into consideration, there was about 5 or 6 really good running backs last year that all transcended their teams, and the rest of them kind of just fell off. So that's just something to consider. I guess we'll go into our last take for the day. Pound for pound, hardest hitter ever in the NFL. You can talk about a defensive tackle. You can talk about a linebacker. You can talk about a safety. And we'll probably bring this discussion back up with more people, but I just want to see you guys' takes. Pound for pound, hardest hitter ever.
Brian Dawkins.
All right. Your 45 seconds is on the clock. Go for it.
Just like, are we arguing or just me solo?
Solo, argue.
I'm definitely gonna go with Brian Dawkins. You can even watch other NFL guys tell you he's the pound for pound hardest hitter they ever went against. This is a guy who didn't care about his safety at all. A reckless guy. Came out barking and everything and shit before the game started. A ruthless guy, and there's somebody, like I said, who earned the respect of the biggest and toughest guys that were on the offensive side of the ball in that time period. He got all these guys respect, and the guys that were on defense in that time period, like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. These are all guys who bragged and said he was one of the hardest hitters, if not the hardest hitter. So I'm definitely gonna rock with crazy brain Brian Dawkins, and that's my take. I think that's very hard to beat. There's only one other person I can think.
Time. Kingo. 3, 2, 1, go.
Honestly, I probably would say Ray Lewis, just because, like, yeah, Brian Dawkins was a dog, but I think Ray Lewis had the IQ too, of knowing where to be at on the field and where everything, what was going on in your plays, and I just think that kind of had played an impact on his hitting ability, just because I think he was already knowing where he was going to tackle you at before you did, or in general. So I think the IQ with the strength that he had on hitting ability was crazy, and I think just the fact of him being that much of a defender and being the face of that team and just kind of leading the charge as a unit, I think that helps his pound for pound case in general. And I don't think, just like Brian.
All right, round number 2, final round for your solos, and then y'all get to debate. The winner gets a point, and we'll close the show off for today. Cam, round 2.
Great choice. I think you're going into the better player more so than the hardest hitter. The reason I say he's the hardest hitter, not only is Brian Dawkins like a great IQ guy, I know he's not known for it. That's just because that's how hard he hits. But the safety position always brings a harder hit than the linebacker position, because what equals force? Speed plus what? Mass? The safety is coming from 15 yards down, smacking, sometimes even 20, full speed, versus the linebacker being at 5 to 6 yards. Brian Dawkins is coming at a head of steam on guys. These guys sometimes are on cross routes. You know what I'm saying? Versus Ray Lewis,
Yeah.
he'll hit a guy hard, but they'll be facing him forward. You know what I'm saying? The guy, they're able to brace themselves. Versus Brian Dawkins catching guys running post routes, catching guys just.
Kingo, do you want to double down or you want to go to the second player?
I'm gonna double down on Ray Lewis for
All
sure.
right, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1, go.
Nah, because I also like if you look at it, I mean, if we're going pound for pound, counting everything in there, I think guys actually fear going across Ray Lewis's path on the field. That he was actually a little fear going forward, like a receiver didn't want to really catch a slant going his way or things like that. And also, if you look at I don't like to bring I don't want to bring numbers into pound for pound, but if you look at the numbers, I mean, he has a ton of tackles, way more tackles, solo tackles in general, and I think his force was a little bit more forceful. Obviously, Dawkins was faster, but I think his force matched his speed, if that makes sense. So I think the force that he could bring to the table will match his Dawkins' speed in general in the hit.
All right, 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. Open floor. Y'all both have at it. 3, 2, 1.
Of course, he's gonna have more solo tackles. He's a linebacker. If you're a DB with a lot of tackles, then you're probably not that good at coverage. You know what I mean? You know, he's gonna have way more tackles. I respect what you're saying. This Ray the Great, man. Ray the Great. This is somebody when we were growing up, we always thought, I hit hard as Ray Lewis, but we didn't know the game completely. Brian Dawkins, like I said, he's coming down from 15 to 20 yards, full speed, pound for pound. He's coming down 200 and some pounds, 225 plus pounds, running at 22 miles per hour. Oh my God! Like there's nothing you can do about that versus Big Ray up there at 200 and what?
But Ray was just like a wrecking ball coming at you. I think he was just more of a mass human coming at you. Like he was just bigger, and I think he was just stronger. So I think his hitting ability was just a little bit better. Honestly, I feel
like you. I know you feel like that, man. I know, but them safeties are different. Them safeties are different breeds. If you're a hard hitting safety, it's different. Just because I'm telling you, you're bringing more force.
But like I said, that IQ factor plays in too. I think Ray was better at reading the field than him as well too.
I feel like you forgetting who Brian Hawkins is. I mean Dawkins is. I think you're forgetting. That's all. I know Ray Lewis is the better player overall for sure.
But I don't think you even. I think you know who Ray Lewis is, and I think you know what he does. And to that point, I feel like the interview knows that he's a better hitter. Like pound for pound, I really think so.
Hardest hitter. No, not better. Tackler. Hardest hitter. Brian Dawkins is literally coming and taking hands off. And we compare how
Who was Ray Lewis doing?
Hey, this count hospital bills. I promise you, he didn't put more people in the hospital than Big Ray. Just because he's coming from full speed. You're coming across the field. Look, you're coming across the field looking at your quarterback, and he's coming across.
And he's coming across full speed, and Ray Lewis isn't, and his hits are still more dangerous. That's where I'm getting at. He's getting that full head of steam versus one guy is not getting full head of steam. Versus one guy has to hit you right on sight. You know what I'm saying? One guy has more time to build up the steam for the hit, and one guy is just honestly hitting you off reaction or hitting you off knowing where you're gonna be or where you should be.
Off reaction, Ray Lewis. The C gap open. He hurry up, quick react. That's what a middle linebacker do. The 3 gap open. React. And then he going through a lineman too, so he also getting touched by a lineman in his view.
Okay, so that plays a point. I'm running through a 300.
That's why he's also.
I'm running through a 300-pound guy versus you're getting open field tackle. I'm running through a 300-pound guy to get to you.
Yeah, but do you not understand that when you're running to him, that takes off of your speed and your strength of hitting?
Anthony Holder says if you line up the top 10 hardest hitting safeties with the top 10 hardest hitting linebackers, the linebackers will win 9 out of 10 times. I need this guy on the pod.
He need to come on the pod because he need to argue. I think y'all need to know because y'all all play football. Y'all remember, you want to know why people start playing safety? Because they were scared to hit in the open field. Because the open field, you're coming full speed. There's no ducking.
I played strong safety, so you definitely got to hit for sure.
Boom. Versus when you're coming from 5 to 6 yards, I'm getting blocked by a lineman, so I'm shedding a block.
Okay, but look, we're talking impact. Think about how many receivers get caught lacking on a slant from a linebacker. Think about those type of hits too.
They do.
Those hits are crazy.
Those hits are crazy. I think y'all don't know who Brian Dawkins is because there's no way y'all understand this. These are post routes. These are post. This is when a running back he just broke free past the linebacker, so he had 25 miles. I mean, he had 22 miles per hour right now. But the safety he already dropped back because it's play action, so he didn't drop back. But now he coming full speed. He had 19 miles per hour, and they're colliding.
I get what you're saying, but just imagine getting hit before you can even get speed, like before you can even break stride. Like I mean,
you have to hit right before you can even break. So you have time to what? You have time to what?
I think you have less time to brace yourself, but open field tackles, I think you have more time to brace yourself in open field versus somebody.
But when I'm going through the hole, your shoulders already ducked. Your shoulders already ducked. You never running that whole high. If you're running through that whole high, you playing pee-wee ball.
Yeah, that's the running back.
So-
That's the
so
running
two
back. But I
people-
think
Two people in the comments. One person said Cam Chancellor, and another person said someone like Clay Matthews. What do y'all think?
Yeah. See, like, come on, like, are y'all serious? Cam Chancellor is coming through. And Cam Chancellor is 236, so he's a huge safety. He's 6'4". Y'all are not saying that Clay, in all respect to Clay Matthews, I think y'all just going off of what y'all remember seeing him on the Madden cover, and he got the little crazy white linebacker hair. It looks, this is Cam Chancellor. What? The 6'4", 236 pounds? Are we serious? 4'4" guy? Do y'all remember them hits? I think, look, man, them hits are different. Them hits different. Coming from a safety. We're talking about hardest hitter. Now, you're talking about more for sure tackler? Oh, yeah, the linebackers for sure. Ray Lewis for sure. We're talking about what hit hurts the most when you getting hit.
yeah, I think it hit when
It's
you
not
can
the hit that when it's not the dude that's bigger and stronger who's shedding. He is stronger because he's shredding.
When he hits a running back, I mean the running back position, you're braced to get that type of tackle. I mean, yeah, but when he hits a receiver, I think it hits way different. Like way
All right,
different.
final takes, guys. Final takes.
Are you about to ask us a question?
No, I was just giving you guys 20 seconds to finish up this convo before we move on.
That's all I got right there, man. Look, you said a great player. You had a great argument. We're talking about hardest hits. What's the delivery feel like?
Okay,
That delivery feel different.
So both of you, I'm gonna start with you, Kingo. Honestly, the safeties argument won in terms of totality, but that's two really good points of view, and I wish you would have had more people to contribute to that one. So I'm gonna give that one to Brian Dawkins with no bias. I'm gonna give that one to Brian Dawkins. You could have mentioned that Ray Lewis damn near killed somebody. Like that would have been a banger. You know what I mean? You know, so I mean everybody, both of you two are gonna get 2 minutes to talk about whatever you want. You can talk about cards, you can talk about gambling, you can talk about Jesus Christ. Talk about whatever you want for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap the show up and get out of here. Go ahead, Kingo.
I'm gonna play it safe and I'm gonna keep it home. My boys, you know, all I do is Cleveland this, Cleveland that. I do think Ohio is carrying sports in general, from college football to the NBA, and next season soon to be the NFL with the Browns and the Bengals. And I do think my Guardians are gonna have an impactful season next year, and I think we got some chances to be there in that final game. But I do think Ohio sports is just carrying sports in general. And I think when it comes to sports, I think we're the best place for sports. Honestly, I think all of our sports teams are relevant every year, and we win a championship or is at least in the final game every other year. So, you know, if we get to talk about what we want to talk about, I just thought I'd just glaze my state for a minute and just say how I think we're the best sports state there is. I know we got some Texas folks in here, but for us, how big y'all is, y'all just aren't as dominant enough as y'all should be. So, you know, I think in totality, Ohio, pound for pound, state, we're the best sports state there is. And I want to bring that back up when we get everybody back in here too, because I know we got some people from a bunch of different states, but I think pound for pound, we're the best sports state there is.
You still got 20 seconds. You want to talk about anything else?
And no, I think that's it. I'm good.
You don't want to talk about your comics or, you know, shoot a hoop in the background or something? You got 10 seconds.
Y'all I don't know if y'all get down with comics, but yeah, them is my favorite heroes back there. Spider-Man, Flash, and Superman. So yeah, I'm a collector, collect magazines as well.
Time. Cam, 2 minutes on the clock.
All right, I'm gonna start off my 2 minutes and just even commenting towards him. One, I almost threw tomatoes through the screen for saying Ohio sports better than Texas sports. One, Ohio State is only successful because of Texas guys.
My God.
Am I lying to you? And then two, no, that's real dope that you collect comic books. I never was to the comics growing up, but then I found myself later on getting very much into Marvel and superheroes and stuff like that. And I know you know something just because I know you look like it. I can tell you got that vibe. Where you look like you know everything about this Marvel universe. I need
Yeah.
to get with you. I need you to tell me what direction you think Marvel moving in for the Secret War of Doctor Doom. Because I know you just look like you know what you're talking about. So I want to know what direction you think they're going into.
For sure.
My 2 minutes or whatever I got left, I'm gonna use talking about who else? LeBron James. With LeBron James out right now, it's all right. And you should be an Ohio guy, so you should be very apprecitive of this guy
Yeah,
because
for
this
sure.
guy made Ohio sports relevant after Jim Brown and them. We wasn't alive during that era. Since then, y'all haven't really been relevant. I don't know baseball. Maybe the baseball team has. And maybe,
Okay.
and Ohio State. Okay, but those are our guys.
Uh, uh,
But yeah, LeBron James. Yeah, with LeBron James being out, my Lakers took a. And I'm not really a Lakers fan, I'm a LeBron James fan, but now he on the Lakers. So my Lakers, we took a bad loss against the Nets the last night, and we were discussing it on the
bad.
podcast. Yeah, that was nasty, but it's all right. It happens. It's the NBA. Anybody can hoop any night. For some reason, they always hoop against us. We were talking the other night about how will they finish seating wise. With LeBron been out in there, man, their schedule was crazy coming up. I think I was just thinking, man, I got a feeling if Rui Hachimura come back, I don't think he is though. I think we can pull out more game than I gave credit for, and then what everybody else giving us credit for.
So
Oh,
breaking
thank you.
news, a couple hours ago in the middle of the podcast, Shames actually came out and said LeBron is back and he's playing against the Bucks.
Look, boy, hey, hold up. I almost got the cussing. But yeah, that's the great news. So look, our season will be okay. If he's not your GOAT, I think you are denying greatness, but that's okay because it can't be great if you don't have haters. So thank you.
Corey, what's going on, man? You want to say something before we get out of here?
I have to say, man, this man's crazy for saying Ohio better than Texas, man. I had to come in after he said that. I almost threw tomatoes.
How's that crazy? We carry
Crazy.
sports.
That's crazy. But I have
We
to say, you
carry.
guys, I loved everybody's points today. Really, no cap. Definitely about the heavy hitters and the MVPs. I definitely think. I was talking to my dad about it. I honestly think picking the MVP should be picked between the players who play and the fans. To be honest, having some board do it is like crazy. So they're gonna pick who's gonna make them money, who's gonna get people to watch more, who's gonna be like, it's all about money and politics, and it shouldn't be like that, you know. That's all I got to say. But I love watching you guys today, and great podcast today.
Sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate all you guys for showing up. Solomon, Ant, my wife, thank you guys. Corey, when you were in the comments, thank you guys for being in the comments, man. All love, peace. Man, Go Luck Podcast is on the move. We headed in the right direction, man. Let's keep blowing up. Let's keep going there. Thank you all for coming. King, man, you did great for your first show, man. First episode, man. And your lights was kind of messing up my right eye. But when I closed my right eye, I was doing fine.
Was it that light back to the RGB?
Yeah, that one. No, it's cool, man. I was just messing around, man. But yeah, man. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Cam, thank you for popping in when you can. Same with you, Corey. And we'll see you guys later on this week, man. Let's get to cooking.
All right. Y'all have a great time.
You gonna text me when the next one?
Probably on Friday, but we're still in debates on that. We'll talk within our group chat and figure out then.
All right, because I'm dropping back up to Cleveland on